this the last stream we will ever have? Are we going to disappear in a flash of lighting as we enjoy this show? I don't know. Maybe. Low-key chances. There's like a 1% chance. It is Wednesday, the 7th of January. It is based Orthodox Christmas. And where am I? Am I with my 5 children? Am I with my 3 wives and my 5 lovers? No, I am here with you, chat, to properly look at the developing situations on the ground, talk about what they could mean, and of course, give our thanks to the Lord. I'm not kidding. OG Orthodox Christmas is 6th and 7th of January. Today is Christmas. So every single subscription that comes into this stream today would be a Christmas gift for yours truly. Welcome in, chat. If anybody has died in the last couple of days, please tell me, because as we all know, whether there is a heaven or a hell, we don't know. But there is definitely a Twitch chat in both. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. As the situations develop right in front of our eyes, apparently the United States of America has seized a vessel of Venezuelan origins, which was being protected by the Russian Federation. The Russian Federation also stated, yo, low-key, this my ship, this is registered under me. You taking this ship is kind of taking my stuff, which is kind of a potential declaration of not war, but of violent conflict between my state and yours. How this will develop between the Russian and the American side, we do not know. We have mass unrests in Iran. We have conflicting information about what is happening in Venezuela. We have a borderline confirmation that the United States of America will be invading and taking over Greenland, which currently is defined as being under the territorial governance of the Kingdom of Denmark. We have threats against Colombia. We have an open statement by the United States of America that the entirety of South America is up for grabs, and that the definition of American field of influence shouldn't just be them influencing it. It should be them running it. Welcome to the 7th of January 2025. We are starting out strong, and on this Lord's Day, the based Christmas, we sit in fear, anxiety, but also the potential of the sweet, sweet release from existence as our degenerate species takes itself to its end. Welcome in, chat. I hope you're all good. Thank you very much. Rigons with the 5. Thank you for starting me out properly. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for the Christmas gifts. Thank you very motherfucking much. You're wondering, new ring. Yes, new ring. Unk is teched out, okay? Because it's Christmas, I got a Christmas gift, okay? This is one of those fancy tech rings that is supposed to tell me how much I'm supposed to sleep and whether I'm exercising enough and whether my caloric intake is insane or not. It's kind of cool. It's I think it's Finnish. Shout out to the Finnish people in chat. So this is like all teched out inside and shit. Look. It's like got all this weird shit. I am still waiting for my new camera, by the way. I've ordered for my new camera lens. I don't know what's going on. I ordered this after I ordered my lens, but because the lens is very specific, it's still traveling. So I did not lie to you guys about that. We're going to get the camera. It just still traveling. Thank you, Top G, for the Christmas gift. Thank you very, very much. Palantir ring. Yes, I am sending all my data to Palantir. The Fed ring, based in Tech Bro Pilt. My precious. My voice is back, right? It's back. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Astro J starting us out with the first West
room. I'm sorry we kept you all very busy over the
Why the fuck is this lady speaking over me? Jesus, I got so scared. Astro J, everybody say thank you to Astro J for starting us out with our first Western Taxpayer of the Week. Let's motherfucking go. Thank you for the Christmas gifts. Thank you for the Christmas gifts. Thank you, Death in Box, for the Christmas gift as well. For 2-month streak. Let's motherfucking go. Let's motherfucking go. I will be crassy, completely crassy. Darkwing Cock with the 5. True motherfucking true. The hype train has begun. It is a Christmas hype train. It is Santa Claus himself camouflaged as Jesus Christ, riding it through the waves. Let's start out with this live White House address. Are they going to talk about World War III or not? Let us get right into it. Thank you, Darkwing Cock, for your developing world taxes. Let's get right into this.
Crazy hamburger! Crazy hamburger!
To bar hospitals from performing dangerous, irreversible, life-altering...
Okay, she's talking about something that's not relevant to this, so I can say Turbo Chimen, our second Western taxpayer in the motherfucking house. Thank you for the Christmas gifts. So many Christmas gifts right now. I feel almost American. Everybody say thank you to Turbo Chimen. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you, Zin. Seriously, thank you, Turbo Chimen, and thank you, Astro J especially, but thank you to the rest as well. The con train we are taking seriously. This is level 7. We are taking it to level 10. So help me God. I am not looking at the nuclear explosions outside of my window while riding a level 7 hype train, okay? I am dying with dignity, and dignity starts at 10. Wah.
Those effects are being implemented as we speak. Americans are going to continue to see the result of these incredible deals the president cut. And I know President Trump and this team behind me worked incredibly hard to lower those drug
about the
costs
ship,
for
bro.
Americans. On Monday, the CDC adopted common sense updates to America's childhood vaccination schedule based solely on the gold standard of science. This action empowers parents and physicians to make the best individualized decisions to protect our children, while also restoring much-needed confidence in our public health system. And as a Maha mom myself, I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, Secretary Kennedy.
Dude.
To build on this progress,
I cover that movement, dude.
Is now updating.
That literally started from a bunch of mothers and then turned into an actual legitimate political movement.
The most accurate, data-driven information supported by...
Okay, can some of the mods please pay attention to this and tell me if at any point they start talking about the ship intervention. This is something. This footage is insane. This footage is insane. You know why it's insane? Because that's a fucking Russian ship right there. That is a Russian ship right there. The Americans are dropping in an oil tanker right in front of the Russians. This is humiliation on some, like, America is on its like humiliation arc, I guess, and not America being humiliated. And you can all sit here and be like, oh my God, that is the signs of a decaying empire, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But this is like it's also, America's also been on its cinema arc. Okay, Holy Mother of God, just this shot. Like if I was crazy hamburger, the Russian Ministry of Defense, I would be losing my motherfucking mind right now. But hey, Russian Ministry of Defense, please keep your cool and don't lose your mind. Do not nuke New Jersey. I repeat, do not nuke New Jersey. Thank you very, very much, Polky, for the tenor. Thank you very, very, very much. What is the video sound too high? I am so sorry. Like there's what happened with audio design? Everybody's audio design is all over the place. Look at this. Look at this. This is so fucking embarrassing. Like they can keep doing this, and at some point somebody's gonna fucking react, and then we'll all wake up in our own ashes. This is so fucking dangerous. This is so insanely crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is absurd. Missile Crisis Part 2. Fuck it. Time to deploy shit in Cuba, dude. But we don't have the USSR anymore, man. China and Russia are not the USSR, dude. Oh, my Lord. How do you think Russia will respond to this? With fucking wagging of the fingers, 95% chance. And 5% chance in reciprocity. Motherfuckers about to take some tankers themselves. Okay? USA turned rogue state. It's always been a rogue state, but at least it pretended not to be. Now we just cinema maxing. Now we're just content grinding, okay? Dude, they made sure that there is someone standing right here recording this. You understand? This was not just flagrant, like, fuck you to the Russians and to the Venezuelans. They wanted to have it recorded in 4K so that they can content grind online. And don't even get me started on Greenland. We're going to be covering it this entire stream, dude. It's a crazy time. This is insane. This is, I mean, what a year, dude. It's already too much has happened.
Breaking news with a major development just moments ago. Sources just confirmed to CNN that the United States has seized an oil tanker that had been linked to Venezuela. Now, Russia is responding to the seizure, saying they are the owners of this vessel. The Trump administration has not acknowledged the Russian status, claiming the ship to be stateless, but nevertheless, you can see the sensitive nature of the situation. Russia had sent ships to track and maybe even protect this vessel over the last 24 hours. The United States has been tracking it across the Atlantic. It's the same ship that the Coast Guard had tried to seize last month near Venezuela. They were unable to board it, and the ship changed course and fled. But now, the breaking news, the United States has seized it. Nick Robertson tracking the developments for us. Nick, what are you learning?
Yeah, over the last few days, John, U.S. Air Force has been flying P-8 surveillance aircraft tracking this ship as it came into the northern Atlantic. It's been heading sort of skirting wide of Ireland.
Hype train, 1 minute left of its life. Save that motherfucker. Get us closer to Gamba. Say a Merry Christmas to me. Every subscription and gift sub today is a Merry Christmas. But also, let's finish out strong. If the bombs are about to start falling, I want to finish out with a high subscription count. Jokes aside, though, I'm serious, please do. But jokes aside, though, this means two things. Like, they are low-key, high-key, very, very serious when it comes to utilizing the blockade. We were all saying bet. They just answered with bet. And number two, they're aura farming hard. Dude, they're aura farming so fucking hard. Oh, Lord.
Heading up.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much.
Towards Iceland and that sort of gap to go towards the north of Russia, the Arctic Circle. Marine tracking experts believe a vessel.
I'm Russian and I feel dick in my mouth. Yes, you should. Like, they put a dick in your mouth. But still, please do not encourage your country or your state to, kill a bunch of Americans right now. Or take a bunch of American shit. Like, take an equal amount of American shit. But please do not bomb anything. Please do not bomb anything. Centrist Ugopnik has dropped. I am calling for restraint. Because this is the type of shit, like, this is like such a classic scenario that you read about, like, the 1820s, about how a conflict started. The kingdom of Moravia took a ship from the kingdom of Borotia. The kingdom of Moravia had to respond to the kingdom of Borotia. And because it responded, all their allies had to respond. And from one ship, it turned into a conflict in which 17 kingdoms fought to the last man. Type shit, right? Like, of
this size was
Ernest Yugo is a bad omen.
Likely headed towards
Do you think they did this purposely during Orthodox? Oh my God, that is such a good point. Oh my God, no, that is insane. Because right now it's Russian Christmas. It's my Christmas as well. What the fuck? They actually did it on Russian Christmas. This is, oh Lord. Oh my God. Oh Lord. No way. Dude, probably a coincidence. Dude, this is so embarrassing. Oh my God, this is the oh Lord, dude. Oh my God. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be a professional here and not just say, dude. Oh my God, I'm not Asmongold or something. But what a provocation! What an insane provocation, dude.
That was the track that it was
also Christmas in
on.
Ethiopia, I know. God bless.
Screeching halt about 2.5 hours ago. Marine trackers noticing that the ship turned direction at that moment. And this really comports with the information we're getting now that the ship has been seized by U.S. military and Coast Guard. It has been tracked closely by them, as we say, since it fled
Thank you for the hype train.
coast of Venezuela about 2 weeks ago. What makes this even more interesting?
But I got a tweet about that. Dude, they did it on Christmas Day in Russia. Today is Orthodox Christmas. for a lot of countries. What should I say? The audacity, or the audacity, or the how do I put this? Crazy levels of provocation. Crazy levels of provocation. Cartoon levels of provocation. Cartoon levels of hubris. Oh, I love it. Hubris. Oh, that makes me sound so smart. Actual war on Christmas. Oh my God, this is so good. Dude, they did it on Christmas Day in Russia. Cartoon levels of hubris. Actual war on Christmas. Oh yes, that is so good. Dude, the Red Cheesehead, I fucking love you, man. That is so good. That is excellent. That is, oh my God. We're shit posting to the end of civilization, dude. You know what to do, chat. Fucking fuel that shit. Fuel that shit harder than that tanker is going to fuel American pickup trucks. What on more Christmas? Dude, they did it on Christmas Day in Russia. Today is Orthodox Christmas for a lot of countries. Cartoon levels of hubris. Actual war on Christmas. 3 exclamation points. You know, I got a Trump post from time to time. These guys are just talking about fat people.
You will. The ship, when it started its journey 2 weeks ago, was called the Bella 1. Halfway along that route.
Ukraine actually swapped Christmas dates because of the war. I think that's stupid, because that's how you let the so-called enemy dictate what is normal and what is not normal. It's like they win that way. It's dumb. It's genuinely dumb. But also, it's like the changing of dates for Christmas for Orthodox countries that aligned with the West is kind of like a stamp of approval. You've been properly integrated into our sphere of influence. You are now ours. You know, we will love to see you on construction sites all over our beautiful Western Hemisphere. You fucking plebeian, okay? Is when they make you change the date. It's like, you know, you're integrated with the consumerist 25th of December Christmas. We're not going to let you do your, you know, based religious Christmas on the 7th. They do it for almost every country. Some countries resist, but it's like a very it's borderline conspiracy theory coming from me. But it's when you see the pattern, it's very evident. It's very evident that, like, you're one of us now. This is how you got to do it. It's a flex on you know, the Orthodox world. You are, you know, you might not want to call yourself Catholic or Protestant, but you are now, bitch.
Changed its name to the Marinera and reflagged itself as Russian. Not clear why. Were they trying to get protection from Russia? Was it always Russian? Unclear. The port that it appeared to be headed for in the past couple of days does appear to have been a Russian port. But now that ship has turned around, no longer heading north, for the last couple of hours heading south. Not clear where it will end up. It is believed to be empty, or at least devoid of oil. We don't know what else or who else may be on board of it, but certainly enough for Russia to deploy military assets to try to give it some shadow of some kind of protection, and clearly not enough to deter the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. military assets that seized it a few hours ago, John.
All right, Nick Robertson tracking the situation for us. Let's go to the White House now. CNN's Elena Treen is there. Elena, bring us up to speed on what you're hearing and whether the White House is saying anything about conversations they may be having with Russia about this.
Yeah. On Christmas, dude, they're about to pull out Vladimir ass motherfucking Putin, who probably was like just walking around churches all day, okay? Like, this is what this guy's been doing all day. Okay, this guy all day he's been doing this. This is what is, dude. They hit one of his ships while he was doing this. What is this live? Oh my God, the guy is it. I can't play, dude. No way. 18 hours ago. No, he did it during midnight. We do the whole thing at midnight. It's a whole thing. Dude, while he was doing this, they hit his ship. No, this is on the holiest of days, bro. Like, I don't know how much you know about like Orthodox Christians, but a lot of them like are actually practice. So a military intervention from the States on your holiest of days is like the same way as like hitting a place during Eid, right? Which they did all the time, don't get me wrong, for Muslims, right? There's no way this is unintentional. Where the fuck is the eternal emperor of Russia? Where's my boy? Are they gonna show him, or they're not showing him? This is how they got the ship. In case you're wondering, are you gonna poop sock me? The oil must flow. Good morning, Anarchy Reigns. Good morning. Very nice to see you. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the Christmas gift. It's my Christmas today. The oil must flow. Classic. But no, dude, them hitting it on Christmas. Oh, dude, no. You do not understand. Every war blogger, every political influencer in the Russian Federation, please, Russians in chat, tell me if I'm wrong. They're gonna go fucking ballistic on this. They're gonna go full like nah. They're gonna go, dude. On Orthodox Christmas, the biggest Orthodox Christian country gets publicly embarrassed in front of the world. If that's not a provocation, I don't know what is. If that is not a provocation, I do not know what is. There will be consequences. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want consequences, you know? Like, I'm over here being like, fuck unipolarity, fuck the Americans, but I also don't want mushroom clouds outside of my fucking apartment. Thank you, Q Dog Bra. Thank you very much.
Yeah, look, I'm actually, so this has been a big thing that they have been, considering, John, regarding this season.
I don't have ads. Where the fuck would an ad play?
Of the oil.
I don't have ads.
And it comes, of course, as they have really made moves to seize other tankers off the coast of Venezuela. With the administration view largely on this is that they had already moved forward with this operation in trying to get what was previously known, as Nick laid out, as the Bella 1 oil tanker. And so this does add the fact that Russia has, tried to claim ownership of it, that they renamed the tanker, does add complications to it. But, John, I do want to get to some of the new reporting I have as well, and what we are learning about the Trump administration's conversations as it relates to Venezuela and what they need to do, the conditions they need to meet in order to resume oil production, which is, of course, one of the priorities for Venezuela and to continue with their economic stability.
Dude, no, this is not about this, my friend, okay? They've probably been seizing tankers all day and all week. But the fact that my guy, they got a camera guy here. And they did it on a tanker that was very openly stated by the Russian Federation to be under their protection and to be, quote unquote, a Russian ship on Orthodox Christmas. I am going to lose my fucking mind. Oh, Lord, no. They just pissed in your mouth, Moscow. What the fuck are you going to do, Moscow? They just pissed on your cross. Big flex, absurd flex, like gangster shit, literally mob shit. Literally mob shit. As we hit the 30th minute, I remind everybody to subscribe. We can Gamba 2,780. This is 100% ad-free, sponsor-free, and grassroots funded. And also today's Christmas, so every sub means you're giving me a Christmas gift because I'm streaming on Christmas. Fucking hell. This is such a fucking flex. Sorry for cursing so much. I'm just mind blown, honestly.
That
Christians super quiet. I'm sure all right-wing American Christians going to be super quiet about this. Super quiet. Merry Christmas for a Canadian Ukrainian. Thank you very much, my friend. Merry Christmas to you too.
Trump administration has translated to Delcy Rodriguez, the now interim president of Venezuela, that in order to resume oil production and oil sales, they must sever economic ties with the United States' foreign adversaries. That includes countries like China, Russia.
No way. Are you fucking kidding me? Is this real or fake? Can somebody confirm? ADHD Dan, thank you very much for the prime, my friend. The UK was involved in the U.S. seizure of the Russian-linked oil tanker near Scotland. RAF planes helped U.S. Special Forces carrying out the operation. What the fuck are you people doing? What the fuck are you people doing? He is literally saying that he's going to take European Union territory in Greenland, and you're helping him start a potential spillover conflict, pun intended, because it's a tanker, with the Russian Federation. An even bigger front that has already been started. Right after he illegally kidnapped the president of a country. We're done. We're done. What do you think? U.S. invaded Venezuela instead of Saudi Arabia? Is it because Venezuela is closer to the U.S.? Maybe the U.S. is afraid a Navy ship would get sunk in the Red Sea, just general U.S. anti-socialism. Oil. That's why they can already get Saudi Arabian oil. They cannot get Venezuelan oil. That's why they're attacking Venezuela. You know this. It's because they don't want to be seen as Islamophobic. That's why they're attacking a Catholic country. Oh, Lord. Thank you, Sean Shank, for the developing world taxes. Holy Mother of God. Thank you very much, Sean Shank. This operation, which risks escalating tensions with Russia, followed the tanker, then known as Bella 1, slipping past the U.S. maritime blockade on sanctioned vessels and refusing boarding attempts by the United States Coast Guard. The United States Coast Guard all the way north of Scotland. The ship later changed its name to Marinera and reflagged as Russian. Moscow had dispatched a submarine to escort the tanker. The report suggests the operation was already underway by the time it arrived. It's unclear where the tanker will now go, but sources told Reuters the vessel is likely to be taken to British waters for the time being. The Russians either weren't there or the Russians chose not to open fire. Both cases, I guess good that they didn't, because this would spill over into something even bigger, but also bad that they didn't, because what kind of a message are you fucking sending? They can piss on your face, which they just did on Orthodox Christmas, dude. On Christmas. On Christmas. This is huge.
Cuba, Iran, all countries that have really been propping up what was Maduro's regime for so many years. They also said that they want Venezuela and the interim government to partner exclusively with the United States on this. Now, of course, this comes as the president has been making clear that a key goal in this entire operation and the next steps for Venezuela is to try and have the U.S. have a higher stake in their oil. I'm also told, according to a senior White House official, John, that the president is meeting with different oil executives at the White House on Friday. That includes companies like Chevron.
Very dramatic scenes unfolding in the last 20 minutes or so off the coast of Scotland, significantly off the coast of Scotland, but still RAF reconnaissance jets from Lossiemouth base have flown off in support of US air forces as well, all connected to an oil tanker, a previously Venezuela-linked oil tanker, which is being protected by Russia, which now regards the tanker as its own boat, it seems. And Reuters are reporting that the US is now attempting to board, or has succeeded in boarding, that oil tanker. Not clear yet whether UK forces have been involved in any boarding of the tanker, but they're clearly involved in support of the US in all of this. So this is getting very complex indeed. That connection to events in Venezuela, not just the ones of the weekend, but to the whole row over oil.
My voice has become much better. Sean Trank, thank you for the 5. If I haven't said it, my friend, thank you very much for your continued support. So I think it can be multiple things at once. I need you to understand this because I see there's some debates in chat. I think it can be multiple things at once. It can be theater for the stupid, okay? It can be content maxing, which this is. It can also be flexing power and embarrassing who you define as your potential imperial enemy at the same time while you're doing theater. And number 3, it can also be a following through on what you stated you're going to do when it comes to a particular policy, in this case, the complete sanctioning of Venezuela and complete isolation when it comes to any fuel exports or imports that are not pre-approved by the United States of America. Right? You can do something for all those 3 reasons at the same time. We don't have to sit here and being like, oh no, this is just theater, or oh no, this is just anti-Russian provocation, or oh, this is just them following through when it comes to what they said about Venezuela. It can be all of the above, and it is all of the above. You cannot tell me that doing this on Orthodox fucking Christmas in front of everyone, the first direct U.S.-Russia flex since the beginning of the Trump administration, that it is not them indirectly saying, yo, we took Venezuela away from you motherfuckers, and we can do whatever we want to you. Why are you embarrassing me so hard in front of everybody by not signing Ukraine peace deals or whatever? That's all of that. All of those things can be happening at once, and they are happening at once. I could believe the Trump administration is too ignorant to know it's Orthodox Christmas. I could as well. I absolutely could as well. But come on, they have a fucking, Americans when they are interacting with any republic, they have 12 white dudes that just studied the nature and culture of this of the Orient, who are gonna tell them whether something is significant culturally or not in a particular country, so that they can either intentionally or unintentionally do something on that exact to that exact notion of cultural identity.
Sanctions on tankers and the like, and now Putin's involvement as well. Stay with LBC throughout the afternoon for developments on this. You'll find
Soviet/Russian studies, a guy like that, yeah.
Information and pictures as well. There are lots of pictures involved online on the LBC app as well, and the website. Let's talk to Joseph Draper, LBC's reporter, who's been keeping a close eye on these events.
Yeah, well, there's a huge amount of mystery and drama surrounding this. It's effectively an aging, rusting oil tanker. We think it's empty. It's been making its way across the Atlantic from the Caribbean, as you say, currently off the coast of Scotland and Iceland. It's called the Marinera, formerly called the Bella 1, thought to have been travelling previously under a false flag. As you say, it now has a Russian flag. Last month, the US Coast Guard attempted to board this vessel off the Venezuelan coast.
The reason I do think it's a provocation and not simply them following through on their policy is because they fucking recorded the whole thing. And they immediately leaked all of the recordings. It's cinema for chuds domestically in the States, but it is also a signal to the Russian Federation. They could have seized and recorded any other fucking tanker that's probably moving around Venezuela right now. All of that combined with the fact that it's Orthodox Christmas, and this is just a power move.
It then abruptly changed course
and headed to Europe.
Yes, exactly. Headed to Europe. Hopefully, hoping to get to Russia essentially via, as I say, Scotland and Iceland. It reflagged to a Russian ship. Since then, it's been pursued by the US military. Donald Trump, of course, ordered that blockade of sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela in December. Worryingly, though, Sheila, Russia also deployed its own naval assets, they say, to protect this ship after what they call an unwarranted response from America, from NATO. It includes surface vessels, submarines, we think, and as you say, in the last half an hour or so, photographs from Russia today showing what appears to be a US Little Bird helicopter actually attempting to board this ship. Reuters as well now reporting the US is attempting to board it. And there is clear UK cooperation on this. Whether they're actually involved in boarding it is up for debate. We have reached out to the Ministry of Defence. They're yet to comment on this. Flight tracking data, which we've seen this morning, shows US Poseidon surveillance aircraft operating from RAF Lossiemouth.
There's so many parallel clandestine operations going on, dude. Like, there's massive protests in Iran. As we all know, the Venezuelan president has been captured. Now they're seizing the fucking tanker. They're talking about taking Greenland. They're telling the EU that, motherfucker, not only are you not going to be getting any more imperial super profits, we are going to extract imperial super profits from you, you fucking cucks. And while they're doing that, a European country, sure, no longer a member of the EU, but still, the United Kingdom, helping them out when it comes to the capture of the tanker. Helping out the Americans. They are on an offensive, dude. Nothing ever happens guy has officially been shot by Donald Trump. Okay, he has been hanged.
So in Scotland, and also, as I say, in the last half an hour or so, UK surveillance aircraft heading from that base towards the...
Meanwhile, Xi Jinping and South Korean president are taking selfies, yeah. Can I have sound, please? Stupid. I fucking hate YouTube so much.
This tanker as well. And I think, I mean, the question here for the Prime Minister, for the government, is whether really it's appropriate for the UK to be supporting the US in operations which are clearly linked to Venezuela when, as...
So how about those Epstein files? What are those? What are you talking about? I don't remember those. There's too much happening. There's too much happening for me to remember those. You're telling me that an executive of state would basically start 700 wars in order for us to not talk about the fact that he's a fucking pedo freak? That would never happen. How could that happen?
We've heard over the last few days, Sheila, President Trump is threatening...
That is conspiratorial thinking right there, okay? You will be banned from chat for saying such such things that incite violence against our president.
To take Greenland.
Was Epstein like a kind of drink? Was it a cocktail? Like, let's have a few Epsteins. I don't remember. Or do you guys remember? I really don't remember. I really don't remember.
And by force as well. Of course, that is a NATO ally.
Best fucking, one of the best tweets I've seen in a very long time was this. I've laughed so much. So because all of their faces are redacted, right? And we've received some Epstein files that came out with the faces of the women in those images being redacted, like with black boxes like this. One crazy, legendary tweeter, quote tweeted it and said, "Oh my God, you raped all of them." That is the funniest fucking thing I've seen all month. That is the funniest fucking thing I've seen all month. The New York Financier. Oh yeah, absolute classic. 1.5 million. If Twitter wasn't as cooked as Twitter is, this would be at 15 million. Yo, what's up, Austin? Thank you, Austin. You have a lovely name. This is my favorite American name. Thank you very much for the Prime, my friend. That's a Christmas gift. Thank you for the Christmas gift, okay? Your country keeps giving us Christmas gifts. Thank you by any means necessary. What you sending, baby?
If you turn on the television...
Oh, dude, guys, like a lot of people have been showing this. Guys, please, guys.
If you turn on the
so many people have been sending me this guy, and he's got like so many views and stuff. And maybe even his takes are fine. But guys...
You will see the same looping footage.
Guys.
You will see helicopters, you will see special forces, you will see the dramatic extraction.
This is AI. Guys, why do you keep... You're officially all boomers, dude. You're officially all boomers. I know your intention is fine, and I even had it in my playlist. I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you, Nervozan. Srećan Božić. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the Christmas gift, my friend.
Action of a Latin American leader. The media is calling it a victory for...
They kept doing it with Giannis, but then people started noticing. So now they're just doing other faces of random guys. This is a fucking deep...
democracy. They are calling it a restoration of order. They are analyzing the tactical brilliance of the raid and the political fallout in Washington. But as always...
This is AI. Are you blind? Yo, what is up, little bear, little bear, little bear, little bear, little bear? Thank you for the Christmas raid, my friend. Thank you very much. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. Everybody give Little Bear a follow right now. Dear, dear, dear friend of the show. Exceptionally fucking based. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. If anybody was thinking of giving me Christmas gifts by oiling me up or paying their taxes, now is the moment so that all our new friends can feel at home. Welcome in, welcome in.
Ed.
On the oil part of this.
Oh shit, okay, they're talking about it. Fuck. You guys came in at the right time.
Exactly is that going to work? You're getting it out of Venezuela into the United States?
Yes.
And then what?
That's exactly right. So as you know, Ed, as the president announced last night, this was the sanctioned oil that was basically just sitting in barrels, sitting on ships because of the effective quarantine of the United States of America. And the interim authorities have agreed to release that oil to the United States, so it will be arriving here at home very soon. The United States government has already begun marketing Venezuelan crude oil in the global marketplace for the benefit of the United States, engage the world's leading commodity marketers, key banks to execute and provide financial support for these crude oil and crude product sales. All proceeds from the sale of Venezuelan crude oil and products will first settle in U.S.-controlled accounts at globally recognized banks to guarantee the legitimacy and integrity of the ultimate distribution of proceeds, and those funds will be dispersed for the benefit of the American people and the Venezuelan people at the discretion of the United States government.
It sounds like it requires a lot of private sector engagement and agreement.
And we already see a lot of the people, which was surprising even to me, a lot of CEOs in the private sector being like, yo, I don't want to fuck with Venezuelan oil. That's too fucking risky. We're going to watch coverage of that as well. A lot of executives are like, what the fuck? I don't want, like, this is like, what? I don't want to touch this. Like, this is what?
Right. Our energy secretary, who's heading up this big project, is in Florida today, meeting with some of these oil executives. And as we confirmed earlier, they will also be at the White House later this week. So they are absolutely eager to invest. They're eager about these opportunities. And Secretary Wright is a very knowledgeable guy when it comes to oil and energy, and he's the perfect man for the job.
Another corner of the world,
Sure.
real quick on
Go ahead.
Iran.
Very well knowledgeable about
ahead.
oil.
So just to follow up on
The interim government gave us all the oil.
oil, 30 to 50
I've had
million
great catch.
barrels is an initial tranche, if you will, and then what happens after that? What
I won't get ahead of the plans that the president and his team are currently speaking with the interim authorities about, but rest assured, there is a long-term plan here. Secretary Rubio and the entire team are working diligently on it, and this is just sort of the first action that you all are seeing. Ed.
Thanks, Caroline. So in order to get these oil companies to invest billions in Venezuela, how will the U.S. reassure that their workers will be safe in Venezuela?
All this legal speak translating to Yar! We plundered their booty and made them walk the plank. Harder-rah, harder-rah, harder-rah. We did it to the Russians too, Venezuelans who. Hardy-rah, hardy-rah, hardy-hardy-rah. All the oil, and some rum. American pirates, rum-a-jing-ra-rum. Our enemies from Yemen got nothing on us. We're gonna hide it all on an island and write a big X on the map. Big X on the map. I cannot do a fucking pirate voice.
What is the message the president is going to give to the oil executives?
Oil.
Here?
Well, the meeting is
Shiver
on
me
Friday,
timbers,
and
oil.
it's just a meeting to discuss, obviously, the immense opportunity that is before these
I am
oil
the best
companies
pirate.
right now.
There is no better
Stephen.
pirate than me. The
Carolina,
Yemenis said maybe there can be bigger
Hey,
pirates. They cannot. I'm the
New
best
Yorker had a
pirate.
story yesterday on the vice president, and it questioned his, quote, notable absence on Venezuela. And the sub-headline asked, was the vice president's exclusion from the operation in Venezuela an expression of his anti-interventionist ideology or political calculation? Would you be able to discuss the vice president's role in Venezuela policy?
I did see that report in the New Yorker, and quite frankly, I laughed out loud because it's very clear. It's a
Wait, you don't just have a random Chinese flag in your pocket that you whip out from time to time? What kind of principal dangest are you? Okay, I always have like a little Chinese flag in every pocket. Okay, I whip it out immediately.
Sure.
I don't know why it was in
seized
here,
a
right?
tanker recently. Russia specifically asked the United States not to seize that tanker. Does this action risk a larger conflict with Russia?
Thank you, Mugetsu.
I believe you're referring to the Bella
very
1
much.
tanker that was seized this morning. The Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, in coordination with the Department of War, did announce that seizure this morning for violations of U.S. sanctions. I've spoken about the enforcement of our sanctions policy at the podium prior to the new year, and this administration is going to fully enforce the sanction policy of the United States. The vessel this morning was seized in the North Atlantic pursuant to a warrant issued by a U.S. federal court after being tracked. And this was a Venezuelan shadow fleet vessel that has transported sanctioned oil. And the United States of America, under this president, is not going to tolerate that. I would also just add the vessel had a judicial seizure order and the crew, so that means the crew is now subject to prosecution for any applicable violation of federal law, and they will be brought to the United States for such prosecution if necessary.
Do they?
Kelly.
Were there any Russians on the ship? Yeah, I want to see you try and prosecute a bunch of Russians. Yeah, fucking try.
As you know, there's
On
some 8
Christmas,
million
bro. They did it on
Venezuelans
Christmas.
Here, some of them celebrating in the streets. There are Venezuelans on the ground who are concerned about their safety. What does the Trump administration, what is it doing to actually help people in Venezuela understand?
To suppress the majority opinion of Venezuelans in order for the minority opinion to come out on top. He's basically asking, death camps, death squads when, bro? Those goddamn Venezuelans real opinionated about us fucking kidnapping their president and she. They ain't got no fucking right to say they don't want American intervention and shit. We gotta protect our assets. I mean, the free people of Venezuela and shit.
During the security of the United States of America,
was
including the
democracy and
Venezuelan American
shit.
people. And I would just add that this is something that not just Republicans and President Trump have talked about for a very long time, but it is also something that Democrats have advocated for. In 2020, Chuck Schumer said that that at the time, President Trump had not brought an end to the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime is more powerful today and more entrenched today than it was when the president began. Now you hear Chuck Schumer out there saying this is reckless. The American people and the Venezuelan people should be in fear. But this is something that Chuck Schumer has long advocated for. Senator Chris Van Hollen, same thing, had said that the United States is going to use its leverage and influence to push for negotiations to transition to the truly elected leader. This was under President Biden. We know Maduro and his cronies don't want to go quietly into...
Not to run defense for the Democrats, but the Democrats said, we want to help transition. They didn't say we want to go and fucking attack the country and coup the president. They probably also wanted to, but none of them did it. So what the fuck are you talking about? The Democrats said that they don't like the president. We just kidnapped the president. These two things are the same.
It reports that the administration has essentially...
Having headaches listening to American propaganda, right? It's pretty insane. Americans in chat, just so you understand, when we watch these press conferences of yours, it's the way you feel when you watch coverage of the DPRK, right? You're standing there like, this is so different to what I consider normal. This is so strange. This is freaking me out. This is how the rest of the world feels when they watch your coverage. We just watched footage of you guys kidnapping a ship and then kidnapping a president and then threatening to take over the entirety of Greenland, right? And then we just see that, and then we tune into one of your press conferences, and in your press conferences, there's always a lady or a guy that says, no, everything is normal. We are just enshrining true liberty and democracy for all. There is nothing to worry about. Everything is going according to plan. We are the good guys. How do you dare say that we are not good guys? Okay? And then a bunch of domestic shit throwing that happens between your two borderline identical parties, and that's it. Do you understand how insane that looks to us? You just kidnapped the president, and then you have a press conference in which you are talking about calorie deficiencies in preschools. Right after you said, we kidnapped the president. Then you're like, next topic, trans women in sports. Do you understand how insane that sounds to us? When we watch one of your conferences in a span of 10 minutes, it's the Antifa terrorists are about to burn down the White House. Trans women actually want to kidnap your children and cut their dicks off. It's super based to kidnap presidents of other countries. Hey, you know how we have allies? We're actually going to take all of their shit. Fuck you, you pussy ass. You don't even have a sled to defend it, you pussy ass. And then just goes and the president also is going to be addressing everybody from Mar-a-Lago to celebrate the turkey cutting off day. Tune in. It's going to be a wonderful family event. This is 80% of these conferences. 85%. This is how the world sees you guys. Just so you can just so you understand. Nobody at this point thinks you guys are normal. Absolutely nobody thinks. Most people think you are the most insane place on planet Earth. Speaking of insane places, this Twitch stream, okay, Yugopnik. We have reached hour 1, which makes me remind you that it's my Christmas. I'm going to milk it. Of course I'm going to milk it. It's my Christmas. I'm a little boy that is swimming on Christmas. So buy me a Christmas gifty because Santa Claus never came to visit me. Buy me a little Christmas gifty by subscribing for $6 a month for free to Prime or for less in other countries. Or pay your taxes and support me by oiling me up and buying nice subscriptions for other chatters. Make this little boy's Christmas dream come true. let us hit 2,800 subscriptions today. It would be the greatest of Christmas days that this boy could have ever imagined. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This boy is so grateful for you. Thank you very much. This is the fucking worst pitch I've ever done. But yes, support the show. It's Christmas. Buy me a gift. Let's fucking go. Let's get back to 3,000 because that's a beautiful number, goddammit. And also 2,780, we can do Christmas gambling properly abandon all our principles.
And then
on the Bella.
Yes, okay. And on Annie's question, if I could also
pushing
ask,
40?
does
Eat
the
my dick,
administration
motherfucker.
believe that the interim regime
40?
should
Suck my
release
ass,
all
brother.
political dissidents and prisoners and return detained Americans?
That's not a question that I've personally spoken about to the president with, so I will let him.
Thank you, Fortissimus, for buying this boy his Christmas socks.
With respect to the two ships that you mentioned, I spoke with you about the
need
Bella
money,
1.
give me money,
there was
or I will
another
let this-
vessel this morning, the Sophia, that in coordination.
How old am I? I am between 18 and 35 years of
This
age.
is a stateless, sanctioned, dark fleet motor tanker, and this occurred without incident. This vessel was operating in international waters and conducting illicit activities in the Caribbean Sea. The U.S. Coast Guard is escorting the Sophia to the United States for final disposition. To answer your question, Kelly, directly, this was through Operation Southern Spear. The Department of War is unwavering in its mission to crush
You guys really
illicit
think I'm that old? That is so insane.
activity in
I mean,
the
I know I'm very wise for my age, but damn, bro.
Western Hemisphere. And as the president has repeatedly stated, we're going to defend our homeland and restore security and strength across the Americas. Dasha, go.
Caroline, thank you and Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too.
Two questions, one on Venezuela, one on Greenland. You've repeatedly at the podium called the current leadership in Venezuela interim.
Thank you, Tally
leadership.
Cat. Thank you very much.
There are Republicans and Democrats alike that say they want to see elections in Venezuela. The president has said it's too soon to do that right now.
Christmas
But
gift.
is there a timeline for elections in Venezuela? Is he
That's a
committed
red
to seeing
scare.
that
Yeah, I
this
wanted
year,
to make the
for
joke, but it would have
You
been
just
too
said the president has answered that question, so I will reiterate what the president has said
Yeah,
a few
baby,
times now to all of you, which is that it's too premature and too early to dictate a timetable for elections in Venezuela right now.
Caroline, you just talked to Jackie about diplomacy first, right? The Danes have repeatedly said they are willing to collaborate on all of the concerns that the president has, whether it's more troops, mineral rights, intelligence sharing. Why does the president feel he needs to own Greenland and not and put out the threat of military action when this could be done through diplomacy?
Well, who said diplomacy isn't taking place behind the scenes, Dasha? I mean, the president is interested in diplomacy. His national security team is as well. And of course, he's always willing to pick up the phone for everybody and hear out their concerns.
Yeah, he is doing diplomacy. He's like, I'm going to take your shit, bitch. Or you can give me some of your shit. Like, give me like 80% of your shit, or I'm going to take 80% of your shit. That is American diplomacy in the 21st century, and to an extent, it always has been. They hit up Greenland, they hit up the EU, and they were like, yo, we kind of no longer give a flying fuck about you fucking Eurocucks. How about, like, you give me more shit? And they did it with, how about you spend 5% more on NATO and buy our guns? Okay, that was the first one. Then they were like, how about you pay for the Ukraine war? That was the second one. Now, because the Eurocucks are just giving them everything because there is no sovereignty in the European Union when it comes to their relationship to the United States of America. Okay? The European Union didn't give them one finger. At this point, it gave two fingers. And now the United States, I would do the same. It's like, okay, let's take the whole fucking hand. These guys are just giving shit out for free. How about we take Greenland, motherfucker? And for the first time in a very long time, I've actually seen European leaders actually respond with like, maybe let's not do that. Except Britain. Britain, of course, was like, maybe we can do that. I love America. I love America so much. I am tiny island America. I am turf America. Diplomacy is bait. Countries with naval boat incidents then switch to pointing gun at face. Exactly, dude. You cannot engage as a non-nuclear power with a nuclear power in diplomacy. You are not. The only way to engage is if you can. The only way two guys are equal is if they can fuck each other up to an equal degree. I might sound like a fascist, but that's the fucking truth. So if you're a non-nuke country, you are not negotiating with the United States of America. You are listening to the United States of America.
But the president is the president of the United States of America, and he's always going to be very clear about what he views as being in our nation's best interest. Reagan.
Thanks, Caroline. I have a question for you on Venezuela, and then I'd love to ask you about Minnesota and Tim Walz.
Sure.
On Venezuela, I'm wondering...
This is what I'm talking about when I tell you that you guys are like the strangest place on planet Earth. Don't come to me with Saudi Arabia. Don't come to me with the DPRK. Don't come to me with Transnistria. I would just like to ask you about this war we started and Tim Walz in Minnesota. In the same sentence. So, I would like to inquire on why we dropped a nuclear bomb on Moscow and why the prices of KFC chicken wings have increased by 7%. Is there a link between those two? Fellow Americans are really concerned about the KFC chicken wing price increase.
Does the administration hope to start sending more Venezuelan migrants back home or have them self-deport if...
Burger Reich. And that is like, Burger Reich is not just being edgy. It's called Burger Reich because it's literally, we will annihilate the planet so that we can have access to cheap burgers. And late stage capitalism is like Burger Reich in decline because it's doing the same rates of imperialism, but the price of burgers nonetheless increases. Okay. What is the relation between higher levels of imperialism and the fluctuation of burger patty prices? Remember, that was a long time ago. That was like a year ago when we had a stream in which we calculated the size of American bases all over the world, which we calculated that if you take all the American bases around the world together and put them in one spot, bases outside of American territory, it would be as big as Denmark or something. So as big as like a statistically normal 2 Denmarks. It would be 2 Denmarks. But then like everybody in chat was losing their mind about like how imperialistic that is. You're occupying 2 Denmarks worth of territory directly with your troops all over the world and nobody's talking about it. So we're like, okay, we have to explain it to the Americans properly. And we calculated it, and we'll calculate it in burgers. And it was a couple of trillion burgers worth of territory. And all the Americans in chat were like, that indeed is very concerning. That is a lot of burgers, sir. That is indeed a lot of burgers. One of the best streams we ever had. There was like, because we spent like an hour on it, we were calculating, diameter of burger, what is the square meter of burger. Now divide the square meter footage that they... we were literally explaining it in burgers. Fuck explaining it in Fortnite terms. Burger terms is how we explain it.
The situation in the country improves.
As far as I'm concerned, the policies of the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security have not changed. All those illegally present
Thank you for your Christmas gift, Super Ricaco. Thank you very much.
In the country are subject to deportation. And I would just like to add how we got here. The president was very clear on the campaign to the American public, and it's one of the many reasons they resoundingly reelected him back to this office, that he was not only going to crush foreign drug cartels, but that he was not going to stand...
There you go, the pivot. I'm not doing interventionism, I'm crushing foreign drug cartels. And the classically, this is really smart, you voted for this. You voted for this. But sir, I don't remember voting for this. No, you're stupid, you little bitch. You voted. I'm telling you voted for this. You're in cahoots with everything we do. you better support it, or otherwise you're gonna look like a hypocrite, and everybody's gonna blame you for being very stupid with your vote. Well, you weren't stupid with your vote. You were in on it the entire time. You were 5D chessing this. Oh, I guess I was 5D chessing it. Yes, indeed. That's exactly what I voted for. Just like lobotomy after lobotomy. You get a lobotomy. You get a lobotomy. Sir, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Okay, I guess I did, sir. It's a little, oh my God.
Buy and wash.
What is this fucking timeline? This is, the rest of us should be more embarrassed. This is the nation that's cucking the rest of us. We should be so fucking embarrassed.
The illegitimate Venezuelan regime was sending illegal criminals.
Oh, shut the fuck up, bitch. What is this? Another distraction?
Many years, and I said, we have a couple of jobs.
This is 3 weeks ago.
This is unbelievable on policy. And we have a policy thing that's going to be unbelievable happening. Should I announce it or should I keep it quiet? I put Vince in charge of the Triumphal Arc. We're building an arc.
Yeah, the arc, brother. There's going to be a big arc, bro. It's going to be such a big arc.
Arc like the Arc de Triomphe. And we're building it.
Look at our occupiers, dog. We were so trash, dude. I will build a Trumpenberger. A Trumpenberger tour on top of the White House. You will be able to see it from space. The Chinese, they have a great wall. I will build an even greater wall made out of burgers. It is incredible what they do with computer nowadays. You can make burgers that last forever. It is. We will make sure all the burgers are made out of pork so that the Muslim invaders cannot pass through the wall. Okay. We will make rivers full of lard. Okay, pig lard, so they cannot swim through it. Oh my God.
Gang members and rapists and murderers to our country, which happened to the tune of thousands under the previous administration.
Yeah, do we have gang members, rapists, and murderers in chat?
And president. And so there could be nothing more America first than this operation that took place last week. And I would just remind all of you in this room that there were innocent Americans like Jocelyn Nungare who lost their lives at the hands of dangerous Venezuelan criminals who were sent here by the Maduro regime. And that has been the president's North Star and guiding principle throughout his entire policy since January 20th.
Tim Walz in Minnesota. Does the administration believe that Tim Walz potentially dropped out of the governor's race because he could be under criminal investigation?
I don't know if there's a criminal investigation. If there was, I wouldn't be able to comment on it from up here, to be honest with you. But I think Tim Walz probably dropped out of the race because he realizes he no longer has the support of the people of his own state, which is a remarkable downfall considering he was the number 2 on the Democrat Party's ticket just about a year ago. When it comes to Minnesota, the fraud that we have seen, the wide scale of fraud is really remarkable. It's egregious. I would encourage every single journalist in this room to go to Minnesota and to cover it yourselves. As for the Trump administration, we have officials who have been on the ground almost every day. Secretary Noem was there yesterday. Secretary Bessent will be...
Son of a bitch, I posted it on a fucking fake news shit. Fuck this drama alert guy. Oh God, now I have to repost it. Ah, for fuck's sakes. Dude, they took a Russian tanker on their Christmas day. Today is Orthodox Christmas for a lot of countries. Cartoon levels of hubris. Actual war on Christmas. And I'll just put actual war on Christmas. Dude, they took a Russian tanker on their on their Christmas day? No, it sounds weird. Dude, they took a Russian tanker on... with that dude. They took a Russian tanker on Russian Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Today is Orthodox Christmas for a lot of countries. Actual war on Christmas. They took a Russian tanker on Russian Christmas Day. Today is Orthodox Christmas for a lot of countries. Actual war on Christmas. Thank you very much, Ritz, for the 100 bits. Thank you for the Christmas gift. It's because of the Gregorian calendar? Yes, we follow the based calendar. I for one, follow the calendar, which is basado. Bunch of countries like Russia, Serbia, Ethiopia, I think Romania maybe, or did Romania get like a euro cut by this? Countries that celebrate Christmas on the 7th. Belarus, Moldova, but give me more countries. Eritrea. Al Jazeera. Why are you Al Jazeeraing me like this? Just give me a list. The Russian Orthodox Church, the Serbian Orthodox Church, the Coptic one in Egypt, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. The Ukrainians got cocked and moved it. No, sorry, you are getting cocked if you fucking move it. Even if you're like, oh, we don't want to be associated with the Russians, which is a fine point, but you're moving it because of the Russians. Get it? The Russians win when you move it. It's dumb. Bulgarians, of course, were some of the first ones to shift. Classic. And then Al Jazeera overdoes it with fucking over-explaining everything as always. But yes, there is based Christmas and not so based Christmas. Today is based Christmas. Every subscription goes to a little boy for his Christmas day.
Be traveling there later this week.
Macedonia, based Macedonia. Did Macedonia switch it now or didn't? We celebrate today. Eba! Srećan Božić! Oh, pičku materiju. I need to call my Macedonian friends. I forgot. Cristo se rodi. God bless you, my friend.
To talk about the fraud and to do a roundtable on this very topic. And I would just like to leave you with an update.
The 7th is Julian.
To date,
yeah.
the Department of Justice has charged
nerd.
98 total defendants
nerd.
in several Medicaid
Palestine,
fraud
there
and
we
related
go.
case
All the base
programs.
ones.
64 were convicted, and 85 of the 98 charged were of Somali descent. The DOJ has also issued over 1,700 subpoenas, executed over 130 search warrants, and they have now added more attorneys to their office. I would encourage every single journalist in this room to go to Minnesota and to cover it yourselves. As for the Trump administration, we have officials who have been on the ground almost every day. Secretary Noem was there yesterday. Secretary Bessent will be traveling there later this week to talk about the fraud and to do a roundtable on this very topic. And I would just like to leave you with an update. To date, the Department of Justice has charged 90...
What is she talking about? Well, she just finished talking about Venezuelan terrorists as an explanation on why they had to go do terrorism in Venezuela. And now she's talking about how there's evil Somalians in Minnesota. I just hope they don't kidnap the president of Somalia. Apparently that's how they deal with evil non-white people in their country. They go and kidnap their president.
Several Medicaid fraud and related case programs. 64 were convicted, and 85 of the 98 charged were of Somali descent. The DOJ has also issued over 1,700 subpoenas, executed over 130 search warrants, and they have now added more attorneys to their office there to absorb the case flow. DHS is on the ground going door to door conducting large-scale criminal and HSI investigations. They have also sent approximately 2,000 agents to Minneapolis to assist with law enforcement and immigration enforcement. As I said, Secretary Noem was on the ground yesterday. The Department of Health and Human Services has also begun requiring a justification and photo evidence for all child care related payments nationwide, and they required Minnesota to conduct a full audit of all child care centers. They also froze $185 million in funding to Minnesota. And Dr. Oz, who was just here, also notified Governor Walz they're going to begin auditing Medicaid recipients and deferring payments on claims based on waste, fraud, and abuse. The Department of Labor is also conducting a targeted review of Minnesota's unemployment program. Department of Agriculture requiring Minnesota to conduct recertification for SNAP recipients, and HUD has launched investigations into the public housing. SBA has also suspended nearly 7,000 borrowers amid suspected fraudulent activity. So, with all of that, rest assured, this is an all-hands-on-deck effort from the entire administration to get to the bottom of this and to ensure that the ripping off of taxpayers in the state of Minnesota, and it won't just be Minnesota, it'll be any state across this country where fraud has taken place, and we are protecting law-abiding, tax-paying American citizens. Phil.
Thank you, Caroline. Just to follow up on Greenland, there are treaties already on the books that give the United States access to the island. They can construct and maintain military bases there. We can house personnel on the island.
Apologies, the woman called up upon me. She made me some pastries. It's pretty good. Some feta cheese and some... It's pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't look that good, but it's very, very good. It's like filled with cheese and like a little bit of onion and stuff. I'm about to destroy this shit. It's not burek, but it's in that direction. Okay, I'm just gonna turn off my camera while I eat, chat. I love you very much, but I will be here the entire time. Okay?
Has control of landings, takeoffs, anchorages, etc. So I'm curious if you could just spell out for the American public what specifically would the U.S. gain by taking control of Greenland that the U.S. doesn't already have access to right now?
More control over the Arctic region and ensuring that China and Russia and our adversaries cannot continue their aggression in this very important and strategic region. And there would be many other benefits as well that, again, the president and his national security team are currently talking about. Jeff, I'll give you another one.
Strategy. Other two evil countries. Strategy. Oh my God. If they do this and the Europeans do not respond, I'm done with that entire continent.
A broad sort of stand-back question on foreign policy. Are you concerned about increasing tensions with Russia because of the tanker seizures? And how does the U.S. action in Venezuela impact the ongoing relationship with China and the president's relationship with President Xi?
I think the president has very open, honest, and good relationships with both President Putin of Russia and also President Xi of China. He has spoken with them numerous times, as you know, since coming to office about a year ago, and I believe that those personal relationships are going to continue. But as for the president and the United States, he's going to enforce our policy that's best for the United States of America. And with respect to these ship seizures, that means enforcing the embargo against all dark fleet vessels that are illegally transporting oil, and only legitimate commerce, to answer your question much earlier, Rachel, determined by the United States is going to be permitted. And that's the policy of this administration, and he's not afraid to implement it.
One more stand-back. Just one more stand-back.
To translate to normal people language, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want. They already do fucking military exercises. They're a town they built while occupying the country during World War II. Of course they do. It's not about that. It's about territorial expansions. It's about scoring W's for the American fucking Chud audience. It's about seeing just how far you can reach in the pockets of your so-called allies that you now completely, you've always done it, but now you completely identify with being one of your vassal states. It's signing a new lease on Europe. If they let you do this, they'll let you do anything. So why not try? And he tried. 5% increase for NATO spending. They did it. Tariffs, they accepted them. You're going to pay for everything happening in Ukraine. They accepted it. Now he's like, I will take Greenland, I guess. Let's see if they accept. That's it. It's pushing the needle and pushing the needle and pushing the needle, seeing how far it can go.
Last one. I remember asking the president at the very beginning of his term if he was committed to Article 5 and NATO, and he said yes. Has his stance on NATO or his commitment to NATO changed?
Did you see his statement earlier today? He said, we will always be there for NATO, even if they are not there for us. And I think that answers your question directly.
Yeah, by invading them. Igor made my non-Slavic friends try it aqui, after I saw you making your own. They did not like it. Did they slowly drink it? Like, Don't let him shot him. Thank you, Argonian bum. So when are y'all going to take us down a couple of notches? TOS prevents specifics to be creative. Well, I guess we're as cocked as you guys. There's not much we can do. They just took a fucking Russian ship on Russian Orthodox Christmas.
Yes.
Just to follow up on what Jeff was saying there, will the president commit that if any NATO members are attacked, the United States will come to it?
Again, the president addressed this directly himself this morning after seeing the coverage from all of you in this room on television, and he made it very clear we're always going to be there for NATO, even if they have not done right by the United States of America. And they have not. They have finally increased their defense spending at the request of this president.
That's what I'm talking about. That was just them. That was extracting imperial rent. You will increase NATO spending is extracting imperial rent by the landlord of planet Earth, known as the United States of America. That's it. You are not living in a sovereign country until we achieve multipolarity. You're living in flats that call each other by different names, but that are all owned by the same landlord, Mr. Yankee Yankman.
But it was only because of this president that they did that. We'll take a couple more. Michael, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Happy New Year and congratulations.
Thank you.
Two questions, if
You
I may.
too.
One on healthcare, one on Mexico. On healthcare, the president says he wants Republicans to be flexible on the Hyde Amendment in order to pass healthcare legislation. What is the White House's message to pro-life voters who say federal funding for abortion goes against their values?
Well, the president did not change the administration's policy. It was President Trump who signed an executive order protecting the Hyde Amendment. It's the Trump administration that has taken multiple actions on various fronts to ensure that taxpayer dollars are not funding the practice of abortion. What the president was saying yesterday was Republicans, and frankly Democrats too, need to show a little bit more flexibility so we can actually get something done with respect to the issue of health care. Republicans have amazing ideas. The president himself, as we spoke about earlier, has launched this Most Favored Nation drug pricing initiative, has cut good deals with Big Pharma. He wants to see Republicans and Democrats too, if they're willing, codify those executive orders into law so that these good deals can remain and these prices can continue to be lowered long after this president and this deal maker in chief is gone. The president's talked a lot about health savings accounts and giving more money back to the health care.
3 years of sanctions against Russia, done nothing to its economy. The U.S. must do something to actually deindustrialize and impoverish Russia. Russia must be forced to join the EU. Oh, Lord. That was funny.
Consumer rather than to these giant insurance companies, and he's been very outspoken and tough on them too, and I think you'll see more and hear more from him directly on that issue. So he wants to see...
EU anti-commies are insane. They are, especially because like commies, especially European commies, when we're talking to like EU people, we're like, dude, like our demands aren't fucking crazy. Let's start from like a middle ground. Oh, what is that middle ground? The middle ground is you not just being servants of the United States and creating a sovereign Europe that takes care of its own continents, its own federations' interests first. Right? That is the only thing that a commie ever tells a fucking EU guy. The EU guy's like, oh, you will never fucking love the EU. We're like, we don't like you because you're in league with empire and you extract super profits, imperial super profits, together with empire. How about you stop being with empire, not only because of ethical concerns, quote-unquote, ethical concerns trademark, but because it no longer makes sense. They are extracting imperial super profits from you. They are threatening an invasion on your territory. They are rent-seeking an increased profit rate from your membership of NATO. You're no longer receiving the same amount of benefits as minuses from your relationship to the United States. So if you're such a proud European patriot, how about you fucking be a European patriot by saying we no longer want to be cucked by the United States of America? And they're like, no, but we are America's basically. Is it? Is it? Is it though? So yes, Most commies are very pragmatic when talking to like EU heads, let's call them that, like guys that are really like, ooh, federations, ooh, very base, right? Because we're like, okay, we can have a conversation. The only thing that we will not have a conversation, but we can have a conversation once you actually have sovereignty. Why the fuck should I talk to you when you don't have sovereignty? What fucking sovereignty? You're America's underdeveloped DLC.
Congress get something done with respect to health care, and that was the point that he was driving home yesterday.
Mexico, Caroline,
Haley,
President Trump says the drug cartels are running Mexico. What action does he need to see Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum take to prove that she's in control of that country, in control of those cartels? And does the White House believe she's able to do that without U.S. intervention?
Look, I think the president was speaking very candidly and frankly about the reality on the ground in Mexico. Haley.
Caroline, Happy New Year. I wanted to ask you about the seized tanker, the Vela. There were reports before this that Russia had sent a submarine to escort it. Was there any engagement with that submarine? And then was the deconfliction line of Russia used ahead of boarding that?
Again, this was a Venezuelan shadow fleet vessel that has transported sanctioned oil. The vessel was deemed stateless after flying a false flag, and it had a judicial seizure order. And that's why the crew will be subject to prosecution. Mary.
On Colombia, the president talked over the weekend and suggested that he would be open to an operation there. Should the president of Colombia be expecting Delta Force anytime soon? And then I had another one for you on California.
That would be a very unwise question for me to answer, to weigh into. What's your next question?
On California, can you share any more about the fraud investigation? The president said that there was one. Who's being investigated and where is it starting?
Again, this is going to be a all-hands-on-deck government-wide effort. The president has directed all agencies across the board to look at federal spending programs in not just Minnesota.
U.S. reporters, should we steal Panama? Should we steal Greenland or Mexico? One of them has to go, dog. Also, what about the price of chicken nuggets? It do be increasing like crazy. It's causing immeasurable suffering.
But also in the state of California to identify fraud and to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law all those who have committed it. Take one more, sure.
Thank you. Caroline, yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of January 6th. Democrats and mainstream media continue to push their big lie that it was an insurrection and that police officers died that day. The reality is that 4 Trump supporters died on January 6th and 2 women were killed by January 6th police. Everybody knows Ashley Babbitt was shot in cold blood by Capitol Police Officer Michael Byrd, but there was another woman, her name was Roseanne Boyland from Georgia, and she was pepperballed, gassed, and ultimately brutally beaten with a stick by January 6th police officer Lila Morris. The Biden administration and mainstream media lied and told Americans Roseanne Boyland died of a drug overdose on Capitol steps. Her family is now asking for an investigation. Is the administration aware of the circumstances of her death, and will there be an investigation finally?
Well, for investigation, I will have to defer you to either the FBI or the Department of Justice, and I'm sorry to have to do that. But with respect to all of the facts that you just laid out, the White House relished the opportunity yesterday to actually create a new website to share the facts with the American public, but also all those in this room. We knew the media
Get me a link to that website right now.
would be covering January
I want that website right now.
6th quite a bit because they think it's something that the
It's my Christmas gift.
American people are still believing.
Well, of course, your Christmas gift's in the form of a subscription.
Their lies on. They think it's something that still helps their case against this president. Obviously not, or else he wouldn't have been reelected in an overwhelming fashion in November of last year. And so I would encourage everyone to take a look at the website. It's quite well done. And thank you all very much. It's great to be back with you.
Thank you.
Where's the website? Oh, let me see it. Oh my God, this is awesome. Oh, they got Nancy Pelosi. Oh my God, then she shakes. Wait, I'm eating. I'm only using my one hand. I wonder why she shaking. 2021. President Trump took decisive action to pardon January 6 defendants who were unfairly targeted, overcharged, and used as political examples. They were not protected by the leaders who failed them. They were punished to cover incompetence. On his first day back in office, January 20th, 2025, President Trump issued sweeping blanket pardons and commutations for nearly 1,600 patriotic. Wait, I gotta do this better. Wait 1 second, chap. 1 second. Let me take a sip of some rakia. It is Christmas, isn't it? Okay. Oh, God damn it. Okay, 1 second. That bonnet was fucking great. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Where is UB? Maybe here. Okay. Man, if it's World War III, I got my proper fucking outfit ready. Okay. Now we gotta. On his first day back in office, January 20th, 2025, President Trump issued sweeping blanket pardons and commutations for nearly 1,600 patriotic Americans prosecuted for their presence at the Capitol, many mere trespassers or peaceful protesters treated as insurrectionists by a weaponized Biden DOJ. He fully pardoned most, commuted sentences, and ordered immediate release of those still imprisoned, ending years of harsh solitary confinement, denied due process, and family separation for exercising their First Amendment rights. Thousands of Americans paid the price for political failures they did not create. Since January 6th, Nancy Pelosi spent over 3 years and nearly $20 million in taxpayer funds on her partisan select committee, producing a scripted TV spectacle to fabricate an insurrection narrative and pin all blame on President Trump. Video and audio recordings, including on-aired HBO footage from her own daughter, show Nancy Pelosi repeatedly acknowledging responsibility for the catastrophic security failures, admitting, "We have totally failed, and I take full responsibility for not having the National Guard pre-deployed, despite intelligence warnings and President Trump's offers of troops that were ignored under her leadership as Speaker." The Democrats masterfully reversed the reality after January 6th, branding peaceful, patriotic protesters as insurrectionists and framing the event as a violent coup attempt orchestrated by Trump despite no evidence of armed rebellion or intent to overthrow the government. In truth, it was the Democrats who staged the real insurrection by certifying a fraud rigging election, ignoring widespread irregularities, and weaponizing federal agencies to hunt down dissenters, all while Pelosi's own security lapses invited the chaos they later exploited to seize and consolidate power. This gaslighting narrative allowed them to persecute innocent Americans, silence opposition, and distract from their own role in undermining democracy. As Nancy Pelosi said, "I take responsibility, Ruru." And what is this? This is like they made a little presentation. Thank you very much. Balu, thank you, Balu, for the sub, and thank you, Huang Yu. Thank you very much, both of you, for your long-term support. I mean, Balu's new, but thank you, Huang, for the long-term support. Thank you very much. Wow. Gotta play the real national anthem. Pirates of the Caribbean. You guys like that bit? I like that bit. That was a good bit. Cisco default hold music. In the club, we're all fam. What's up, doof? Ah, Lord. Oh, my God. Yes, this is very triggering for a lot of guys. I don't know. I didn't have Cisco where I live, so not that crassy. You need to tell you something. Tell it to me, doof. Tell it to me. Tell it to me straight. Don't tell it to me gay. Oh, God damn it. Wait, I blow my nose. I'm Canadian, but every fucking company uses this as hold music. No, it doesn't. This is the first time I'm hearing it. It sounds really good. What the fuck are you talking? That's a banger beat, dude. This is an incredible beat. Don't judge the beat because the only time you heard it is when.